Hi everyone, welcome back to your final chapter in module for the digital marketing course, Marketing 3800. It is on chapter 18, which is SCORE, the Radical Results Reaper. Let's go ahead and jump into the very last PowerPoint. So, the first learning objective in this chapter would be to review the Radical Results Reaper, which is assisting in understanding a business website and data. The second learning objective is to identify the importance of analytics, data, and research. And the third learning objective would be to assess implementation methods for the findings on the website through conversion metrics and A B testing. So let's go ahead and look at the Radical Results Reaper. So this is actually not an acronym, however, it does talk about 6 steps or the 6 M's in the Radical Results Reaper. They are metrics, measure, monitor, meaning, manipulate, and money. This is the final area for digital marketing, and it's all about having the right tools, resources, skill in place to measure and monitor a campaign and really the overall business website and their mobile website. It's all about the success of campaigns and the products and services for better optimization. A little bit more on the Radical Results Reaper. So, some questions digital marketers want answered at a high level from analytics. And when I say analytics, it's all numbers. They want to answer: does every digital marketing action a business takes result in revenue? How could the business improve and maximize return on investment or ROI? And is the business sustainable and profitable? Those are such high level questions, but they really need to be answered fully in detail through analytics. And you have to have data, the numbers back it up. The Radical Results Reaper, made up of the 6 M's, covers what are the key terms relating to measuring campaigns, what to measure, when, and why, what tools can a digital marketer use to measure, taking data and turning it into marketing actions, testing and improving campaigns, measuring ROI, which is again return on investment, how to identify which channel returns the best leads and conversions, and how to use analytics to ensure the business does not go throwing money at channels when the business could be optimizing current traffic. So the first M that we're going to look at is metrics. First is learning the key terms relating to measuring campaigns. Every campaign must have a goal which has a broad outcome and the overall what the business is wanting to achieve. So here are 10 typical business goals that usually are used when looking in through metrics. You would want to understand how to increase sales, build brand awareness, grow market share, launch new product and services, target new customers, enter new markets internationally or locally, improve stakeholder relations, enhance customer relationships, improve internal communications, and above all, increase profit. Marketing KPIs is an essential part of the tracking of a business's marketing investment. And again, I know we've talked about this before, but KPIs stand for a key performance indicator. They're used to measure performance and success. A KPI needs to be intimately connected with a business's key objective. That is so important. So, if your overall business objective is to optimize the website to increase your revenue, you're going to use tests such as A B testing that we talked about in chapter 11, but you're going to use the metric revenue. You're going to say, okay, in analytics, I'm going to pull in my revenue metric and it's going to tell me, are we on track with that business objective? A metric is just a number within a KPI that helps track performance and progress, just like I said in that previous example. For each KPI, there needs to be specific metrics. Critical success factors, which are also called CSFs, are elements that are critical for strategy or businesses to be successful. CFFs are indicators for opportunities, activities, or conditions required to achieve an objective within a project or mission. Typical marketing KPI examples for a marketing campaign would be sales revenue, cost per lead, customer acquisition cost, marketing qualified leads, sales qualified leads, customer lifetime value, marketing spend per customer, marketing ROI or return on investment, traffic to lead ratio, lead to customer ratio, landing page conversion rates, organic traffic, and customer engagement and customer retention. So the second M in the SCORE metrics would be measure. Now what to measure, like the when and the why. For any marketing campaign, a digital marketer will need tools or software in place when referred to as analytics. And this is to measure metrics for a business's KPIs. So the author has a quote that says marketing analytics is the practice of collecting, measuring, managing, and analyzing marketing performances to maximize its efforts and optimize return on investment or ROI. So you have to measure before and after your campaign. What is the data before you run this campaign? What is the data showing you after? What is, if you're running a test, why are you running the test? Run the data before you run the test to understand and back up why it's important. Change it on the test and then see the results. You need to measure it. Measuring will help a business see if the business is on track achieving the goals. See if what the business is doing is actually working. That's really important. Know when to adjust the business's strategy and know how to adjust the strategy. There's a lot of times where we can say, okay, this needs to be adjusted, but there's actually quite a bit of marketers out there that don't know how to adjust what the current strategy is. So there needs to be a game plan for if the data shows something that is going to have to be changed, how are you going to do it? If the A/B test says, okay, well, variation B is actually better than A, who's testing that? Who's changing that? Right? So you need to have really good friends in IT because marketing information, people are actually not going to be the ones changing the entire website. You may run the test, but you're not going to more than likely be the one that's actually going to change it. So there needs to be a strategy in place for that change. Know when the business has achieved the goal. Justify the budget. So pull the data before and after. That is so big. And justify the investment. The investment, if you're pulling in another company, there's tons of businesses that pull in outside resources. So that is an investment. You need to be able to justify that. Step 3 is monitor. So now we're going to look at tools that are needed to measure the business's online success. Once a campaign has been implemented, ongoing management will include monitoring results. So you're going to actually continue looking at these results. I create stuff all the time on dashboards and through Adobe Analytics, and I go back in on my reports all the time and see like, okay, like this is going really well, or this web page looks like it might be struggling. Why is it struggling? And I pull that data. So the data could be running for a significant amount of time, so it needs to be monitored and checked on probably every day. Effective monitoring of a campaign success should be done through a marketing dashboard, which is a reporting tool that displays marketing analysis, KPIs, and metrics. If you are in my web analytics class, web and social media analytics course, you will actually be using a lot of Google Analytics. And if you have not taken that class, I highly recommend it. It's so important to understand the implementation of Google Analytics, because if you can do Google Analytics, you're going to be able to do Adobe Analytics and so forth. A marketing dashboard should include the following. It's going to show KPIs, integrate data from various sources, and present a consolidated view. Provide a way to measure the overall results and investments of a marketing campaign. And provide the ability to measure these metrics and make decisions based on the information. Google Analytics, there's an ABCs, the most important metrics to use. And we're going to actually dive into that. So Google Analytics tends to be the most popular tool, and really it's because it's free up to a certain amount of traffic that you're wanting to put in your databases. And so if you have a significant amount of people, and I'm talking millions of people on your website, maybe a year, and you want to warehouse all of that information, That's usually when you have to start paying for Google Analytics. But up until that point, it's pretty free. There's a couple of features that you can pay for, but really the basic Google Analytics is fantastic. Adobe Analytics is another source more for corporations, so larger firms. This is a very expensive company, but it is really awesome for, again, larger scale companies. Google Analytics ABCs, so the most important KPIs, would be acquisition, behavior, and conversion. If you get it, they all start with A, B, and C. So acquisition is the amount of traffic to the website. Behavior is the level of engagement on a website, and conversion is the effectiveness of the website in converting visitors to customers or leads. So these are really important metrics that you need to understand are not going to be saying, especially in Adobe Analytics, they're not going to say acquisition. There's going to be, if you notice over here, it's kind of a breakdown of, okay, this is your acquisition tab, but there's not a specific metric, so you need to understand what would go into that. So if you're looking at acquisition, you're probably thinking of the amount of people visiting. Are they returning? Are they new customers? Do they have an account? What is going on? Is there a certain page that they're visiting on? Where are they visiting from? Is there a certain country, state, city? That's that type. Google Analytics quick setup would be to create an account, add the name, URL, and industry of the website, and then you would get a custom tracking code from the business's website, which would allow Google Analytics to monitor the website. There's also a lot of back-end tagging that normally IT does, so always befriend your IT people because you will be BFFs with them regardless. The fourth M in the SCORE process is meaning. So this metric is all about identifying which channel returns the best leads and conversions and turns that data into marketing actions. So according to a report by Forrester, 74% of firms say they want to be data-driven, but actually only 29% are successfully transforming data analytics into a business action, which is actually not the best strategy. So if you don't have data to back up why you're changing an implementation or your objective or business action, it may not be successful and it actually might be hurting your company. So it's always good to have, it's not bad to have an idea and try to make the change, but back up the data and stop your campaign or idea that you have if the data is showing that it's not working. Step 5, manipulate. Now digital marketers actually need to start testing and improving campaigns based on the data and findings. There might be trends that start to appear or spikes of activity that can clearly be sent by viewing small increments of data and metrics. Once a digital marketer is tracking the goal conversion, a great way to use the data is to look at a conversion rate percentage, then optimize and promote high converting pages. So your homepage is probably a super high converting page. If you are a digital marketer on basically any website, definitely optimize that homepage. And the reason you optimize it is to get the consumer or visitor to the next page. Then optimize that page. Then optimize the page they go from on the third page and the fourth page. Finally, until they are repeat customers. Never stop improving. Ways that you can measure this would be through the conversion rate calculation. You would divide the number of conversions by the total number of people who have visited the website or a landing page, and then multiply that number by 100. You can optimize all of your website through A/B testing by examining different variations of the desktop or mobile website to optimize everything online. And we talk about that in chapter 11, so if you want to go back and look at A/B testing, by all means, please do. A little bit more on the manipulate side. So you would actually look at 3 different elements: data, information, and insights. Data is raw and unprocessed facts. Data can be quantitative measured or qualitative observed. Information would be the visualization in the form of reports and dashboards. That is so important. There's a lot of people that really don't want to understand the data, or they cannot understand the data just by looking at the numbers. So putting it into something of a visualization, and it doesn't necessarily have to be in Google Analytics dashboards. It could be an Excel pivot table. It can be a PowerPoint. You have to create these visualizations for better understanding, and your executives at the business are probably going to like it better than seeing the data. And the third thing would be insights, which is analyzing and forming conclusions. Insights can then be influencing decisions and drive a change. The final M, step 6, is money. Analytics will make sure a company is not throwing away money at new channels when the business could be optimizing the current success of a channel or the web traffic. You would do this through acquisition, behavior, and conversion, our 3 ABCs of metrics, KPIs, and Google Analytics. Rather than just focusing on what the business will spend and budget, the digital marketer should also be constantly striving to improve return on investment, or your ROI. An important factor here is saving money and reducing costs. This can be outside costs. This can be cost on measuring investment, campaign promoting, obtaining consumers. Optimize how you're getting these people, how you're setting this up, how you're setting up a campaign, who are you hiring, and then you will be able to budget better, save money, gain money. There are 5 ways to cut marketing costs without losing business. The first one is, there's 4. Sorry, not 5. Is to repurpose content and campaigns. The second one is customer insights to target the right consumer and remarketing, which is an average of 70% better conversion, and it's actually really cheap because you're not spending money on advertising. Advertise online and leverage publicity opportunities online. That would be more free publicity. So if there are events that you can try to get in on, take that publicity. Nurture what the business has and increase conversion. So optimize the website through A/B testing. And that is chapter 18. We looked at the results, which would be to reduce costs, optimize budgets, increase ROI across all marketing efforts and channels. Measure, we set clear goals and use analytics to measure and track performance of the progress. Actions, we wanted to draw conclusions and create actions to improve our results. And monitor, record data, and visualize information. That is for our execs. It is very important. If you have any questions at all, feel free to contact me through my ETSU email. If not, I will see you all very soon.